Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. We are just post the very, very violent feast on the planet as we are investigating what in the heck is going on this planet. Apparently we branded one noble. I guess it might have been the priest. We let the old lady get the great honor. And somehow we have to get into the palace. Probably this way. Not that way. I love how everybody is still partying. Maybe we do just go back to the void ship. Maybe we have to fly to the palace. Wait a minute. Awareness test succeeded. Loot. Good loot.
Seize the opportunity.
Oh man, if we do have to fly to the palace, then we can absolutely go back to the void ship to heal. Does kind of feel like that's the vibe right now. Why walk when we can shuttle? Oh, I just have to talk to Maeve. Take us to the castle. It is the elevator. Please. Maeve breaks off as Solomorn walks by, brushing past her shoulder before examining the elevator with a fault-finding eye. Not daring to speak again, the young woman makes a gesture of invitation and steps onto the platform herself. No sooner have you stepped onto it than a short metallic clang comes from above you. Aw, jeez. I'm cut off from the entire rest of my party. This is what we call the uh-oh SpaghettiOs. Oh, it is a cult! Of course it's a Tzeentch cult. I hope you enjoyed my bloodthirsty menagerie. The instantly recognized the spiteful voice and cocky smirk of the fool's mask. The arm that was mauled by the cyber mastiff at the first meeting hangs limply. He's not even bothered to bandage it. Still acting the buffoon. Some people never learn. A pulsing light draws your attention. Against the far wall, an old man stands behind an ominous-looking altar. The heavily augmented man stares in wonder at the flashes of blue light snaking through the veins of Thercertium on the floor and walls. The crystals in his eye sockets gleam and go dark in time with the flashes. You recognize him as the sculptor. The old man doesn't seem to notice you. All his attention is focused on the strange altar. Tadura, the executioner, stands behind the fool and gives you a crooked smile, along with Commander Lucra. Man, I knew I should have just killed all these guys. Bodyguards for a private conversation? Isn't that a bit much? Times are troubled, as you know. I want everything to go according to plan. The governor's dead. Was it your doing? It was bluff all along. Shocking, right? You know? Don't be ridiculous. I couldn't swallow a man whole, even if I wanted to. Bluff throws up his arms in an exaggerated fashion. The Lacerax, you unleashed it on the governor. Don't try to deny it. It seems humor is not part of the vocabulary of the Emperor's servants, but truth should be. You see, the governor was a fraud, a fake, not worth crying over. The true governor of Thessaria stands before you, esteemed guests. Dane, come on, don't say things like that. It's not right. Shut up, idiot. You can't even do as you're told. What was it Maeve should have done? Bring you here to the altar of change and not ask questions. And I, according to your plan, was supposed to die. Exactly, I don't need you, but don't worry, I've planned this for this as well. Tavarisk, are you ready? Solomon turns slightly away from the fool and makes a series of furtive hand signals telling you to stall while the cyber mastiff gets into position. Oh man, what a good altar of Tzeentch. I didn't expect this guy to be in on it too, but I guess I should have known better. The preparations are complete, my lord. The scribe left some intriguing notes behind. In them, he appears to describe the switching of bodies. Is that part of your plan? You are perceptive. My previous experiments were failures, but you've met some of them, particularly Fault himself. Remember the crazed mutant by the Phasmophorius? Oh, you should have seen your face. And this time it will work. I suppose the irregularities with the tithe were part of your plan. One small part of the grand design. The first bait you had to take. The concept was simple. Disrupt the shipment, provoke a response. An ingenious trap that the Arvades walked right into. But fate granted me a special boon. You were caught in my net along with them. You didn't trap anyone. You shot yourself in the foot. Only an idiot would think they can outmatch a rogue trader and a proctor together. He gives you a subtle nod. The cybermassive is close enough for a decisive lunge. I need a low stick to smoke on. I can't just, like, draw my weapon. So what's the altar of change? A great artifact which Tavarisk carved from the planet's unique gift, Thesertium. Take a look while you still can. So this is not your homeworld? Found me out, eh? That's right, I was born and raised on Idex, the greatest world in the Imperium. I'll never forget the mix of plasteel and ferrocrete, the glitter of proud spires, the eternal humiliation of my appointment. I was sent here to serve the Imperium faithfully and honestly, why else? Our all-knowing administratum benefits its feudal throne is occupied by someone with an intelligence level higher than a Grox, a golden shove for all my diligent service on Idex. I packed my bags and came here to govern this backwater. What a joke. Why bother masquerading as a fool if you're the governor? I've always preferred masks to those mugs. Besides, who would take the poor wretched fool seriously? Who would suspect? I found a replacement. He wanted to play at power, and I graciously let him. Pity he didn't rule for long. I, on the other hand, had a costume change, took a seat among the spectators, sharpened my wit, and began to enjoy it. All for this exact moment, this exact day. If you grovel before me, I will be merciful and let Solomorn finish you off quickly. You've overlooked one small detail. What detail? Talk, you bastard! Bluff ignores the Arbiter, his gaze fixed on Maeve, more specifically the necklace. A lovely piece, isn't it? You see Solomorn hand signal out of the corner of your eye, and Gladio leaps but does not reach the fool. The psyker moves at the same time, a flash of light, and everything goes dark. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You're surrounded by the smell of old rust. The darkness reluctantly retreats. The pain comes first, throbbing in your head, then the metallic taste in your mouth. You finally feel the hard floor chafing your stinging teeth. Look around. You see Bluff through the bars of the cage. The mocking smile on his sinister mask seems to grow even broader, or is that a trick of the light? Maeve, as white as a sheet with dark abrasions on her face, weeps quietly as she stands stock still beside the fool. There are markings at the floor of your feet, a crooked circle bordered by unholy symbols. Bluff is standing in the center of an identical circle. You hear a quiet, measured scraping sound as the old man's muttering coming from the depths of the hall. The few words you manage sound nothing like Gothic. Rogue trader, can you hear me? You turn to the voice. Solomon is trapped in one of the side cells. Apart from a bleeding bruise on his forehead, he appears unharmed. You all right, Solomon? Yeah, I'm fine. You look over to where Solomon indicated. Gladio lies motionless in the middle of the room. Judging by the flickering lumens on the implants, the dog is still alive. The fool wants to become the rogue trader. I mean, it wasn't originally his plan. He said he was only trying to get the Arbades here, so... But I think, obviously, you know, why become an Arbades when you could become a governor? A rogue trader. Maeve's necklace, more than a pretty bauble, I take it. Much more. With the right knowledge, the right tools, complex rituals, people can transform a simple dirty blue pebble into something truly special. It's about late for you to do anything with that information. You dare to attack me? I'm a rogue trader. Enough chit-chat, Travis, begin. The markings beneath your cage seem to breathe in, glowing with crimson light. Maze leaps from you to Bluff in alarm. Tear-reddened eyes widen as she realizes what's happening. Dane, stop! She pushes him out of the circle. The world explodes into shards, suffused with blinding light that burns out your eye sockets, incinerates the air in your lungs, and makes your heart shudder in your chest. Finally, darkness descends, impenetrable and absolute, encompassing everything. It cradles you, dissolving everything that was once you, everything that once was. You're bobbing like a boat tossed upon the waves. Colors and sounds meld into a cacophony, stirring up nausea in this exhausted body. You blink, and the patches of color fall into place. Or do they? Across from you, in a cage, you see a frightened, disoriented face, an expression you have never seen in a mirror. At your feet lies a gaudy mask that's fallen from the fool's face, covering the wrinkled visage with both hands. The ugly and enraged governor of Thessaria rises hastily on trembling legs. Staring daggers at you, he shrieks, "Seize her! Seize Maeve!" The guard takes a heavy step in your direction. The look on his face promises nothing pleasant. Solomor now? A sweet melodious voice rings out. It's not yours. Gladio, attack! Your head swims through the haze. You recognize the figure of a guard coming closer with no signs of stopping. Your gaze sweeps over the room, searching for a way out, for a solution, until somewhere at the periphery of your vision, you notice a streak of scarlet. The cybermastiff's visor lights up, giving you a chance to run. Dog, dog, dog. Oh no, I'm just a waifish young girl. Does this matter, though? He just needs my body. Now he can just body swap with Maeve, can he not? Your mind is a loose shard, adrift in a purple cloud. It does not remember even seeing, hearing, or feeling anything. Were you ever truly alive? Did you always surrender to the flow, not bound by the fetters of corporality? Oh, the dog came down with me. Your memory of the last several minutes are incoherent and painful. The flash of sorcery, the leap into the unknown, Solomon shouting something. He gave Gladio an order, but what was it? Any attempt you make to process what happened pulls you deeper into unconsciousness. You are wrenched suddenly out of oblivion by a blunt, merciless bite. You try to breathe and hear your own ragged wheeze. Sight gradually returns to you. An angry horse's head emerged from the mists. You are back and alive. Oh no, do I have like no strength score as Maeve? I have a strength of 10. Push the horse away. You try to shove the head away from you, but your hand veers off. Your palms feel nothing because the skin on them is just some unwieldy meat cover forcibly fold onto your frame. Your fingers curl up of their own accord. Focus my gaze. It's a cool storyline, right? Yeah. Die and choose to play as the guy masquerading as you for the rest of the game. Your eyes begin to put together a sordid image. Everything around you is brown and disgusting. Hay, wood, blood, dirt, horse. The trapdoor you jumped down has led you to a stable. A place for peasants, not sovereigns, but somehow your body remembers the sense of poverty. Your consciousness expands heavily like sick lungs. You remember a large basket, bundles of food, the grateful smiles of the hungry. Your hand finds something on your chest, something so cold it burns your fingers. For a moment, you think that it's the real you, the shard that will be lost in the flow, but it turns out to be nothing more than the Certium necklace. As you look at it, the crystal stares back at you with its blue eye. The fool's wrinkled face suddenly emerges from the reflection, and his gloating voice seems to hang at the edge of your awareness. Your body remembers pain and electrified air, something bad. You shout as a deathly cry and an unbearable shrill. It's just as strong enough to make the creature stop biting you and back off. Memories that are not your own tear into your mind, replacing your thoughts. It occurs to you someone else used to scare all the monsters away. Your big brother, so funny and smiling. With some effort, you manage to force his gentle face out of your head. Roll to the side. You attempt to twist your body around, only ends with racking pain. All right, rise to your feet. You sway as if sick from all your limbs feeling impossibly fragile. Scrawny legs, frail arms that do not belong to you. This is a costume and it's not yours. It doesn't fit your status. It's the wrong size and it still carries greasy traces of its former owner inside. You're overcome with the urge to tear off your flesh and throw it away like a worn glove. Willpower test failed. Man, you're really bad at tests. You dig unfamiliar nails into your skin trying to scrape someone else's face off yourself. The pain in your cheeks has a sobering effect. You see blood on your fingers. It might not be your body, but it can still prove useful. You got no choice but to look for a nearby water trough at your reflection. You see familiar faces. Unnatural forces dragged you out of your body and into that of Maeve. Now that you've spent some time in the stable, you feel a little more accustomed to your new limbs. But where is your shell? We're doing a Freaky Friday. Cybermastiff does not respond. The lumens on its head are blinking with troubling agitation. A mountain of vegetable waste rises up ahead, next to which stands a rusty pitchfork. Your attention is drawn to something pale pink and half buried under the waste. Looks suspiciously like a limb. Pick up the pitchfork. Could be a decent weapon. You lack the strength to pull it free from the earth. Investigate the waste. Take the arm. You pick up what used to be someone's arm. The horse looks at the dead fingers greedily. So this is just a cannibal horse. Oh man, we have a lot of stuff going on with us here. We're perplexed, disturbed, staggered. We have psychosomatic trauma. And we're in not your body. The creature that dragged you out of the unconsciousness turns out to be a muddy brown horse. From the darkness, the beast follows you with large black eyes. It looks hungry and frightened. Now, we are good at coercion still. The horse must have smashed through the stall to reach you. You immediately note the empty trough and the fetid pile of vegetable tops under your feet. For a moment, they approach to a rotting waste blocked by an iron fence. Just another Tuesday, right? I'm going to give it this arm. The animal's nostrils flare in agitation. It pauses for a second, then trots after the treat with a rumble. Uh-oh, that door. Snorting frantically, he hurtles towards the stable door and smashes right through it. The sight of the stable hand standing in the doorway portends nothing good for you. Not so noisy anymore, are you, you little wench? I'll skin you alive. Well, we're bad at that, and we're bad at that. So call for help. You scream as loud as you can. Your voice rings pitifully. You see your new reflection in the blade of the cleaver. There's no way out. At least this foray into the life of Thessarian peasantry has been a short one. An abrupt metallic clang rattles the stable. Something very heavy is coming your way at a terrifying speed. Dog. 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 Man, I love this dog. The cleaver raised for a strike falls from the man's hand as he screams, assailed by a whirlwind of fangs, fur, and metal. Having emerged from the gloom, the cybermastiff does not give the stable hand a single chance. After ripping out a part of his spine, the beast spits out the corpse and looks at you. Good boy. You notice a dent in his implants. He's taken a beating. It's hard to say if he received this injury at the time of your capture or during his escape. He stares at you for a while, then barks and scans the area, waiting for orders. A cybermastiff listens only to his Arbidae's master, but now Gladio is here. Has he followed you through the flat trap door, which must mean that his master is dead? All right, hungry horse. My God. Down in the peasant world. Local inhabitants come down the slope, look hostile in the extreme. The vilest of them is missing an eye and makes sure to keep his remaining one fixed on you. Oi, Poppet, where'd you get that dress? You know, my bride-to-be would love to wear a dress like that on her wedding day. Would you lend it to her? He glances at your dirty yet expensive clothing. Something tells you these people would gladly peel the dress off you right along with your skin. Of course I'll lend it to you, right after I flay you where you stand, scum. Something in your gaze causes the bandits' smiles to disappear. One of them whispers something to the leader. The one-eyed man clicks his tongue. Grok shit, off with you. Putting down nutters makes this more of a mess than it's worth. The bandits let you pass. I mean, at least we get our coercion stats still. Bloated mutants, rabbles. Wheel is similar to the one used to raise the enormous elevator. Yeah, Roy? Oh, I didn't look down there. Can I go that way? I thought this was blocked. Enormous gate is locked fast. Oh, great. I suppose that tracks. Oh, there's my ship. Oh, man, we're not very far away at all. Good day, bloated mutant. Just another day down in the slums with my puppy dog. Thwap, you powdered face, you stupid girl. What if it fell on someone's head? We spent the whole day hooking up that thing. Now we've got to do it all over again. Get out of here before you break anything else. Oh, these peasants. How reduced our rogue trader is. Put into the body of a waifish young girl. Having to mess around with all the muck. Being protected by a dog. Oh, Henry's come to visit. Maybe she's pinched us a few lordly leftovers. Half sunk in melodious mud, the houses are packed together like bubbles on a plague-stricken corpse. Well, now we just got to get our body back. Heinrichs, that's the kind of man we need right now. What are you doing here, girl? Get out of here. What happens if I try to return to the void ship? Property of the rogue trader. Do not approach or it will be deemed an assassination attempt. Oh, man. I'm not good at any of these things. Who's that knocking? Maeve, is that you? Hold on, I'll get the door. Come on in. Thanks, the other path was blocked. Balding commoner. Several commoners are talking in a loud whisper, taking no notice of you. A balding man with a bowl cut is gesturing energetically, his back turned towards you. Never thought a thing like this would happen. A new celestial lord's paid us a visit. They say he descended from the sky on a great bird of iron, stepped out of its belly clad in golden armor. Any who saw him were blinded by the splendor. That's his anointed for you. Rubbish. I've heard that tale before, and only an idiot would believe me. He's a nobleman like any other, just a more important one. Treats everyone like dirt, pushes people around worse than any of our own nobles do. But that's the way it is, isn't it? The God Emperor's will at the place at the top and ours in the dust. It's how the world works. Next thing you know, the Celestial Lord will make this whole place his own. The pot-bellied man runs his finger under his nose, leaving a clean patch on his grimy face. Oh, I wish it was like you said, but something tells me bad things are coming right now that he's here. I heard the new Celestial Lord. Wait, look, that's Maeve over there. She served the Lord himself. She could tell us all about it. Hey, Maeve. You want me to tell you about the Celestial Lord? I know a thing or two. The people's eyes light up with curiosity at their words, and they hurriedly gather around you. I heard the Celestial Lord was offended at the court fool for daring to speak up, and then beat him up. Is that what happened, Maeve? Might have been. That's when the servants pulled out a big bag of thrones and showered the poor. You people all feast on gossip, but I'm telling you, the Celestial Lord has never dirtied his hands with worldly affairs. He's above such petty things. How could he not be when he rules over 1,000 worlds? That's true. That's more correct. They become anxious and they don't trust you. Say what you will, but a noble's a noble, no matter how celestial or lordly. They all act the same. Let Maeve speak. Have you heard about the mutant disaster? Well, they sure found someone to blame. The Celestial Lord didn't even bother with a trial. He made him crawl in the mud, begging for mercy. The Celestial Lord never forgave the man for his misstep. He had his family brought before him and tortured them at length, and he laughed through the entire ordeal with a voice so sinister even the rats in the corner died of sheer terror. The trio exchanged doubtful glances. Oh, I am not passing these tests right now. You check, there are packs that can do it. There are advanced ones that say they can specifically remove traumas. Ah, right, which is different than an injury. That makes sense. I'd rather stay out of that Celestial Lord's way. Who knows what goes on in those noble heads? Suppose my appearance offends him. I'd rather not part with my own head. Maeve, you got closer to him than anyone else. How did he treat you? What's it like to be around one of the God Emperor's anointed? If it had been me there, I wouldn't have said a word in his presence. You never know what to expect by someone of such rank. All you know, you say the wrong thing, he's got your tongue ripped out, roasted, served to you on a plate. What's that look for? It happened before. I wouldn't tell a lie. The Celestial Lord allowed for me to sing to him until sundown. Anyone who didn't fall silent when we approached was distracted from enjoying the music was immediately executed. The commoners nod their understanding as they continue to hang on every word. Well, at least I passed one test. I don't know what those tests are going to give me, but... Just had a game update pop up on Steam, more bug fixes. I had one earlier this morning. I don't know if it's the same one. What's my plan here? I'm just going right back. Oh, my whole gang is here. Hi, gang. The Vox in your companion's hand is speaking in your own voice. There's no need for concern. The Proctor and I are in the middle of examining the documents together with the Governor. I'll be back as soon as we're done here. Abelard furrows his brow. What he heard does not sit well with him. Oh, I feel uneasy. Even the Lord Captain did report that everything is fine. Something about his voice wasn't quite right. Then again, the Proctor is there too. Shut up, little whispers. They're acting up, you know what? I don't care what the Lord Captain said. Something is wrong. Activating standby mode. Pascal emits a quiet hum as he begins prayer. Every moment spent away from the domain is another defeat for me. As soon as you approach, everyone's attention shifts to you. For now, their reaction feels closer to pent-up irritation than outright hostility. Rejoice, one and all, for Rogue Trader von Valancius has returned to you. Your pompous declaration silences the group momentarily, and they stare at you in utter bewilderment. Someone lets out an awkward chuckle. My dear, were you not the one assigned to watch over the Rogue Trader? I'll be damned. Either I'm completely out of my mind, or no, that's just insane. The Lord Captain in the body of that court lady. That's rich, Whispers. She starts rubbing her eyes as if trying to clear him. Abelard, present me to my retinue. This is totally the option. Abelard startles. That tone. The Seneschal looks at you from head to toe in amazement, but you can still see he's unsure. I've fallen victim to profane sorcery. I need my body back. Do not weep, child. I will cut your thread quickly and painlessly before your soul succumbs to corruption. Look, I have Solomon's Cybermastiff with me. Would he order his dog to guard some Thessarian chit? That statement is potentially true. Cybermastiff protocols are difficult to breach and override, much less in a primitive culture such as this. I'm biggest von Valancius, who perished in the curse, the heir to Theodora, who perished in the course of Conrad Voigtger's treachery. What else do I have to drag up? You could have memorized a few facts from the Lord Captain's biography. Are we playing guessing games? We need to get upstairs. Trust me on this. Find the Rogue Trader at the top. Tell the pilot shuttle to take us here. He won't listen to me. The suggestion to stop puzzling over your identity and start acting seems to have had an effect. At least no one is arguing with me. Damn. Straight through the wall, hey? Ooh, that doesn't look friendly. That is quite a chaos beast in the corner. Only one. When the dust clears, you see the familiar hall, the fool fearfully hunched close with the cage in which you, or rather your body, is still sitting. Your face is awash with tears, your lip is split, and a Vox lies next to you. In a cage to the side stands Solomorn, glaring through the bars at the true governor of Thessera. Upon seeing you and Glado, the Proctor straightens. It seems he was waiting for your return. Without taking his intent gaze from you, he gives you a slow nod. He's ready to fight. How did you... The elevator! Damn it! Why did you have to make all this commotion? Why couldn't you just sit in a cage out of the way and wait for the ritual to be completed? Tavarisk, move! The psyker's cracked skin seems ready to crumble to dust, but its Thesserium eyes burn with an otherworldly fire. The ritual is nearly complete, my lord. The altar of change is ready to irrevocably switch the threads of fate. Psyker, return me to my body at once and I will grant you an easy death. Removing his hands from the stones in front of him, the heavily augmented old man turns to look at you, an expression of utter amazement. But why? Why would I negotiate with a corpse to be? You are the past, and the governor and I are bound for the future. You're really not going to like that future, old man. The ones beyond the door already send their regards. They say they can't wait to meet you and this little king of yours. There is truth in his words. It is senseless to negotiate with a corpse to be. Cabela runs her finger along the edge of her blade with a slow, almost caressing motion. You've stolen something from me. I have come to reclaim it. And how, may I ask, do you intend to do that? Only Tavarisk and myself know how the ritual works, and he's the only one who can perform it. It just so happens that we don't feel much inclined to cooperate. Your tongue is quite superfluous part of your body. Worry not, that flaw is easy to correct. We lunge! The court fool snaps his fingers and the guard ready their weapons. In the tense silence, every sound, every movement can be clearly heard until the metal of the cage emits a piteous creak as Solomon slams his entire weight against the bars. Hell yeah. Man, his cutscenes are really good. Huge Judge Dredd energy. My dude! I need that to get my body back! Solomon. Perfidious? Perfidious? Not like pietas? Well, you know, I'll learn something new. You struggle to open your eyes after the world has once again taken shape. You realize that you're staring at your own palms from your own eye sockets. You move a hand and each muscle responds gratefully, filling with warmth. The others watch as a mixture of hope and dismay. Maeve, the real Maeve, looks at you through watering eyes. Myself again, it was so... She lacks the strength for anything more, and her body collapses to the ground. Surrender now and confess everything, Governor, and I will convince Solomon to kill you swiftly. I don't know, Rogue Trader. My finger might twitch, and Glado thinks it's an order to spill his guts. Sculptor, you may begin! The Lord's destinies are already set in stone. As long as I live, you cannot destroy them. Sick.
Struggles are in vain.
I will tell you, sometimes I really wish I was playing as a melee class. I don't suppose I can move my guy. Well, I can a little bit. All right. Big A, you better tank the two with him. Solomon, you look like you're destined to fight this crowd. Oh, there's so many of them. Tadua the Scorched. Commander Lucra. I feel like that's the best shotgun angle. All right, Adira, we'll put you there. Vesper. We'll put you up there. There's a bunch of snipers over there. And there's a bunch of snipers up here. Well, this is going to be some good chaos. This is going to be a hell of a fight. I'm going to give them cover efficiency.
The undesired knows all, comprehends all.
And then I think right now... Let's make that the front line. Extra cover for those dudes. I could cast that Machine Spirit, but I'm also kind of thinking, why don't we just quickly blast these dweebs? Damn. 1 HP on some of them? That's not going to do any damage. Clearly, I can't do any damage to buff until all these stone statues are dead. For each stack of this effect, he gets minus 25% damage suffered, 25% damage dealt, 25% hit chance, and 1 movement point. Okay. He's under the effects of 3 familiars. Spawn of the highest favor. You know, I could put that on literally anybody. It doesn't matter. God, and Tavarisk is up there as well.
I can't stand it. Just a minor setback.
That was not a minor setback. That was half your HP. God damn, son. Why does your shotgun have no bullets in it?
Is clear.
On the first turn of combat, like... That would have been really helpful.
Understood.
At gunpoint. Uh-oh, what does this do? The last creature that dealt damage to Bluff, the Stone Sentinels, or Tavarisk becomes Bluff's priority target. If that creature is unconscious, a random enemy becomes his priority target. He has a two-handed sniper rifle. Once he's killed, all Stone Sentinels are destroyed. But he can't take damage until those Stone Sentinels are destroyed. Or at least until one is destroyed. I don't know if I should have the dog attacking or protecting. When used on the Overseer for the first time in combat, the Overseer regains 1 AP.
One of us would be enough.
I mean, I guess I could do that. And then at least do some shotgun treachery.
The order is clear. No heretic escapes punishment.
Okie dokie, Solomorn. Oh, Abelard, this is not
So she's there, Will.
cool, man. Abelard is dead. First turn of combat before he even gets to go. Love that for us. And I can't reach him with a med kit either.
Was that you? Or
All warp stuff is at maximum, but I don't really have a choice. Like, I kind of got to do some warp shenanigans here.
will do. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Oh, nice. The Earth protests. Everyone takes damage and gets knocked prone. This is definitely going to end up being a restart in this fight. At the way things are going right now, that bird is also prone.
On it.
We also took so much damage from that. If I cast this twice, does it matter?
Quiet, Whispers. It's my toy, and I'm gonna control it myself.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Purpose guides me. One step closer.
Let's get some buffs down. Let's get the Medicae signal up. At least that will start healing all of us. Leto, I don't know that that will work on you, but it might. We'll boost our resolve.
Beckons. I need no guidance.
I took an ability that like break their ranks can be used no matter what. So at least it's giving like people a buff. And I will also do advanced tracking in the hopes that we just get more heals out of it. Oh,
I will not die in
sick,
dishonor.
man.
Another weak.
This is so cool. Are you going to kill my entire team before they have a chance to move?
Emperor, protect me. Quick, quick.
My resolve is
I mean, there's no way I can win this if both Cabela and Abelard are down.
Out of my way.
At least I wouldn't think so. That does not do a lot of damage.
my vow is to serve.
I can't use an AoE while everyone is this close, so...
Running my narrative override.
Or I can't use my gun while everyone is this close, I should say. So you'll swing the Thunder Hammer and swing and a miss.
It's time to regroup.
Oh, man. Solomorn, what the hell am I going to do with you right now, buddy? Shoot them, I guess. You got to reactivate the dog, because otherwise you're in trouble. That also heals you for a lot. Can you shoot both these guys? You can.
I'll take it as a priority.
So, I mean, I guess that's got to be my plan. You're going after Adira. I think it's like Abelard and Cabela both got, like, penalized because they didn't have... They got caught, like, flat-footed.
My little whispers.
You're
told
gonna cast
me it's
Overcharge.
a great idea.
Be gone.
How much damage did she just do in the one attack? Because it looks like 140 something. Buff the Court Fool gains 4 extra turns. Interesting. Psychic Shriek does 138 mental damage to Commander Lucra. Wow. Oh, because my psi rating is like through the roof. What are my warp conductor gloves do? After triggering psychic phenomena or perils of the warp, psi rating is increased by 1 until the end of combat. Wow.
I'm not so sure.
I don't know why you can't complete the cycle,
Let's see what
but I
you
guess
can
let's
do.
cast Evil Eye. Vesper is prone. So you can't use any of your actual abilities, I guess. All right, we'll do sensory deprivation.
What is mission?
Reality Quake. I mean, I don't really have a choice. Either I kill everyone with psychic damage here or we fail, so... that killed my bird. Let's reactivate it.
There. A deer will fix you right up.
Now I can cast Purification Discharge.
What was the command again? All right.
I've almost killed one Stone Sentinel.
What?
I did kill the giant Chaos Beast.
Or
Oh my god, I can give her another turn.
Purpose guides me.
Absolutely. I want you to Psychic Scream all these people again.
anything else?
Okay. She's killed everything living in the room. Pretty much. Which is, man, wildly effective. Does anybody have a good melee attack? Break their ranks.
I will triumph.
Oh, my Servo Skull is dead. Oh, no. I better react. That's not reactivate. That's advanced training. Oh, no. Shoot. Ooh, doggy.
Don't touch me.
I don't know how to deal with these guys. When do we get to fight possessed space marines? We fought one already in the campaign.
No.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Ooh, double parry. Ooh. Deadeye shot. We dodge it and it hits the Stone Sentinel. You can hit both of these guys here. So that makes Pascal the priority. Let's move the front line to... Honestly, I think to Pascal. This is a mess right now. Every ally in that area gains an extra turn with +1 AP and MP at the start of your next turn. Operative immediately inflicts one exploit on all enemies in combat, then makes a free attack against a target that always hits. The target of this attack suffers a -30% penalty to armor, block, dodge, and parry. Tavrisk, then it's a Stone Sentinel, then it's Solomorn, Adira, and Turg. I think maybe I saved the heroic act for one of the other guys. We'll just cast joint analysis. Okay, Solomorn is down. Adira lives another day. These guys are immune to Psychic Shriek. What worries me is if I cast lightning through them. Will all of them be a trigger for chain lightning? Because if so, that would kill my entire party. Permanent blind. Immune to prone, fatigue, disturbed, perplex, bleeding, horrors of the warp, and mental damage. It cannot dodge. It cannot be pushed. Worth attempting unless she kills herself. I mean, she might kill herself is the thing.
Let's see what you can do.
I could definitely do this. Try it. It does not look like Lightning Arc deals 192 damage to Stone Sentinel. It doesn't look like it arced.
Not this Greyer's job.
You can't cast that?
Damn. What was the command again? All right.
All right, well, they're all dead now. Thank you, Adira. Excellent work, if I may say so.
Will do.
If I may be so bold. This guy is also permanently blind. Whew. I want to reactivate my servo skull because he'll start healing us. Raven only single target damage echo. Yeah, that's what he's meant to be. Yeah, yeah. So it does seem like it works like that. Honestly, I'm kind of just like bring it down on Adira again and let her cast another, as long as she doesn't summon a demon when she does this. That guy exploded and somehow that killed Pascal as well. But I don't know, I guess everybody else is dead. I have a psyker up here to deal with, which is a threat. And then I have a handful of dweebs over here.
Quiet whispers. It's
I think the
my
bird
toy,
can probably
and
deal with
I'm
them.
gonna control it myself.
I do not know, like, if I should be taking cover from those guns or cover from the psyker. %95 dodge chance. You already have that. You already have that. You can't reach anybody with that ability. Officer grants an ally an extra turn with full AP and movement. During that turn, there is no attack limit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this immunity to warp damage elixir. And then as long as these guys don't kill me with lasers, I should be safe. Yeah, see? He just attacked me with warp damage. When this target dies, it explodes. He attacked me with warp damage, but it didn't do anything. Go, bird! Go forth and do bird things.
Anything else? What will the fortunate turner be?
Pop. Adira also can't hurt me with her warp shenanigans.
That is not my destiny.
Oh, but she also can't pick up that bird because he's too far away.
I'm not so sure.
So, if you can't be killed,
Ruin
let's reactivate my servo swarm. Let's have it cast Medicaid protocol. You don't have a med pack, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start running at this guy, and then I'm going to stab him a lot.
I find purpose.
Azerham, dude, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the agency. Yes. You have medkits. You know who I'd love to bring back to life is Cabela.
No can do.
Oh, right. It doesn't actually work like that. So... well, you'll one-shot him if you can get into range.
Through chaos, I stride.
We will relocate my servo skull to here.
Purpose guides me.
Trying to keep Adira inside of it. How do I not have a shot on you?
The very idea.
What? What kind of warp shenanigans is this? All right. Your biomancy doesn't hurt me. But I tell you what is going to hurt you is a psychic scream.
Cover me. Not this
Probably should have brought the
round.
bird back to life just so I could have used him for this.
Sow the seeds of
Wouldn't have to like
discord.
make Adira even go near this psyker.
One step closer.
Healbot, come back to me.
Purpose guides me.
Man, try to kill this guy is going to be not easy.
Quick, quick!
Stop running. Such a rat. All right, I guess we're going to have to go this way.
Let's discern the future on the
Matthias
battlefield.
Giovanni, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the agency. Still not in range. I do have my sword. Am I better with swords? 73 weapon skill.
Descend upon the weak.
Technically, yes. Servo Skull, I need you in range.
Emperor protects me.
Ooh, and I get a free attack out of it.
The spirit.
I know what is to come.
Get wrecked.
Was that you?
302 damage. I should have checked her psyker score at the end of that fight. I bet it was insane. Saying Firestorm will recast Firestorm? Ooh. Great question. It's mostly used for like telepathy and biomancy are the two things that it works really, really well with, it says. Like, you're kind of meant to use the Cyber Raven for like spreading buffs to your whole team. But clearly casting Psychic Shriek and then spiking... I have a thing set up with Adira. She has an ability where every time she casts anything, it triggers Perils of the Warp. And so then every time she triggers Perils of the Warp, her Psyker rating goes up. And clearly it's a broken combination. In the ensuing silence, a gurgling snicker becomes clearly audible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see our guest is 2 alive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start the cutting. Start the fun. The ugly shambles that is his face dissolve into a semblance of a smile. 7, 8, shut your trap. You may open it when you are asked a question, and your answer had better be honest and to the point, or I swear by the Lex your execution will evolve Gladio none off your limbs. And he could be a very slow Gnarer. Thercertium. What are its properties? This wretched little world had nothing worthy of attention save for Thercertium. When I started having dreams about it, about changing bodies, I thought I was going insane. And I shared this with my sculptor, the now late Tavrisk. He helped me understand the essence of this mineral. Experiments and studies followed, mostly carried out by him. I don't have his gift, but oh, the things I could do if I were a sorcerer. In the end, he realized Thercertium was more powerful than any known psi focus. After 1,000 cursed attempts and the combination of powers, energies, and sacrificial victims, Tavrisk managed to create his finest sculpture, the Altar of Change. A magnificent artifact, a door to eternity. No more limitations imposed by our mortal bodies, no ailments, no injuries. If your flesh is worn, swap to new flesh. Don't like your lot in life? Choose from 1,000 others. No longer just a dream, it's the most perfect realization. Immortality in stone. What? Yes, I know it's not an option. I've got my own life to live out somehow. Why would I want to take on another? What was your goal here? The plan was simple and elegant. Thysaria starts underpaying its tithe. The arbiters swallow the bait and send their messengers. That's when I spring my trap, change into the body of an arbitrator who lands here, pack up the altar, board their ship, and wave goodbye to this ball of dirt swinging in the void. A rogue traitor would have been even better, but greed has a way of spoiling a good game of regicide. The plan has not changed. The Undying One has whispered your name, and the execution of his will is nigh. Of course, this game involved one key piece, the embodiment of freedom, my magnificent altar. So much accumulated potential from years of experimentation. It is damaged, but it still beckons, waiting to be used. He looks you in the eye with a caustic smile. I advise you to keep it safe. Who knows how many thousands of lives it will claim if something happens to it, unleashing all that power. Hannibal Lowstick. The irony, the last one is always the sweetest. Any other victims of your ritual that survived? No, I don't count the dead. The ritual is a complex one to perform, so it took Tavrisk and me a long time to calibrate it. You were the only one it worked on. To think of all the possibilities it opened up. Using the Altar of Change, I could have body swapped my way up to a Lord of Terra. What are you talking about? The very suggestion, you sick degenerate. As my father used to say, if you've come a long way, keep going. I'm a dead man, as it were. I might as well dream a little. All right, well, what was the point of the whole masquerade? A governor attracts too much attention, and I wanted my hands to stay untied, so I offered my court fool a fair bargain. He would become me, ruling the planet, living a good life, getting whatever he wanted, while I would be out there flying towards the stars. We traded faces, clothing, lives, and because I'd gotten local nobles into a habit of sewing other people's mugs on their heads, the swap went unnoticed. But the swap was only the first part of the deal. Naturally, I didn't mention the second part, the removal of witnesses. If someone's gonna rat you out in a moment, there's a knife to his beloved sister's throat. You can't afford to keep him alive. He casts a hateful glance in Maeve's direction. All right, Solomon, you can execute him. Since you're done, Ronaldo, you have committed unthinkable heresy. I refuse to acknowledge you as a human being or read your verdict as befitting a criminal. You are a stain on Thessaria's history. It's time to wipe you from it. Although he executes the governor quickly, you see a fleeting expression of absolute disgust, perhaps even hatred, pass over the proctor's face. Gunned down. Maeve opens her eyes and immediately jumps to her feet at the sight of the bloodied corpse. She clenches her hand to her chest and her eyes well up. Oh, there's definitely something going on with like her necklace still. Pull yourself together. You can cry for your traitorous brother later. As you command. Solomon, you find anything? The data slate with the shipment chronicles that they spent so much time vainly searching for. According to the records, the tithe period is 1 Terran decade, and the quota prescribed is 1,000 cargo units. The governor withheld 100 units from each of the 5 most shipments. That means the world has actual no different difficulty regularly supplying its tribute. That matter is settled. Deciding what to do with the Certium is far more important. It's a resource we can't afford to ignore. I propose destroying all of it already mined as well as its deposits. Allowing an abomination like this to exist is against the Lex. As for assessing the degree of the corruption and deciding its fate, the law prescribes leaving this judgment to the world's owners. That is, the Administratum. Master Killjoy, a Psyfocus is not just a rock without a will of its own. It's a tool, like you. So what if some lunatic wants to use it for deranged ends? It can just as equally serve a good purpose. Dare I remind you, Lord Captain, that no one beside you has any knowledge of the mineral's properties. If it's left here, no one will find out. What a crafty way to paint me as a mindless henchman. Let me also remind you that I report directly to the Marshal, and my reports are thorough. Where's the heretical option? Such a valuable material, such incredible properties. I hereby order the Certium be added to the planet's tithe. The Imperium must obtain as much of this marvelous stone as possible. Solomon grinds his teeth, but obediently declares, your orders are clear, rogue traitor. My celestial lord, what am I to do now? And not a sliver of remorse, just fair for her own skin. Do not be swayed by a criminal's tears. I've seen plenty of those and they're worth nothing. Or should I say, not worth more than a bullet. Ooh, I could make her into a servitor. Plus 15 heresy? Yeah, that's really nice. Obviously, I like the idea of introducing a potentially corrupt soul into the ranks of my servitors. She did save us? Kind of. What can you do? I can brew recraft, do sweet with a foam of cream, strong with special spices. I can dance, sing, carry scrolls and data slates. Would she make a new governor? Good governor? I do need someone here we could trust. My only problem is she knows what this mineral can do. But I guess word's gonna get out anyway, so. Just take her as a normal person? That doesn't sound very mean. I'm making her a servitor. Thank you, you are my savior. A servitor is like a servant, but on a ship, right? Even better, they don't talk. This statement is false, for it is incomplete. The right of servitude in perpetuitas does not imbibe the unit's communication abilities. It replaces the decay of worldly notions with sacred logo algorithms. Flesh speak is flawed and redundant. Her face is decided. There's no point in staying here any longer. The heretic mentioned that destroying the altar would risk death among the local population. Was he lying or trying to manipulate us? The abomination must be destroyed. As for casualties, the Emperor will know his own. Don't you dare destroy this, Solomon. I will cast you out an airlock if you think you're doing this. As you approach the damaged altar, you feel an unpleasant weakness. You hear a faint ringing in your ears as if the smooth surface of the stone is groaning from the wounds it has suffered. Secretly take a shard of the altar. That thing no longer possesses any threat. Let it stay here. As you lean over the shards, the ringing in your ears intensifies for a moment. A quiet voice promises you strength and power, asks you to save it from oblivion, and you graciously fulfill its request. Look, it's like bleeding. Once the largest of the shards is in your hand, it falls silent and pacified. Another 5 heresy. Lord Captain, do you read? The shuttle pilot reported the rescue operations and forces are on their way. What is your status? Are you alive? Come in. I've had a very difficult day, Vigdis. Get me out of this blasted hole. Examine with warp lore?
The whispers told me how.
Shards of this monstrous structure emit a barely perceptible ringing sound. Is it the whispers of otherworldly voices? Telling of change? We can hope. We got a Biomancer staff.
Intriguing.
We got a basic greatsword. We don't need that. Lots of pirate chainmail. Player lines the sorcery symbol elicit a vague desire to touch them. Dude, I have so many injuries. A heavy maul. Power hammer, one-handed. If the wielder has a shield equipped, whenever they hit a target with this maul, they immediately make a shield bash. The target has to pass a toughness resistance test or become stunned for a round. Where is that? $14.18. You picked up the Bloody Sacrament. Area attacks create a cloud of smoke. I feel like that's the better one. It also has a 6 skull on it. Bluff gives us this two-handed sniper rifle. This weapon gains 75% overpen. Whenever you crit, you gain 1 AP.
Embrace true.
It's not really a lot of people we can currently give that to, but that might change. Lots of goodies. Circles have been scrawled over this whole stack of scrolls. Each circle represents the one daubed on the floor, but none replicated exactly. Okay.
Fortune smiles on us.
Yeah.
Ill omen.
And a little extra booty. Let's take our level ups. We get new talents. Whenever an ability is extrapolated through the server swarm, it gains 1 fellowship. Gain extra HP. Deals shock damage. I realized this ability, we took this a while ago, energy multiplier, before I did a rebuild. I thought this gave an extra turn to another ally in the area if you used to bring it down, but it actually turns out that's like a base feature of the Servo Skull. This just does +5 to all characteristic stacks, which is not as good. I am a little tempted to take this emergency stimulation thing, which allows the Servo Skull to save somebody once a fight. Whenever an ability is used on an ally for 1 round, that ally gains 5 characteristics that are key characteristics. For 1 round, though. +2 resolve is not bad. And I feel like I should take a Servo Skull ability. When the Overseer and the Familiar are adjacent to each other, both of them reroll failed dodge attacks once per attack. Now that's not a bad choice. Our dodge is not particularly great. I'm always using him as cover. Does this like scale off of fellowship? It does. All right, then this is also not a bad choice because it just makes the heal do more and more. And as the fight goes on, he heals better and better, basically. Emergency stimulation, your nickname in college? It's not a very good one. You've had some better nicknames in college. The ally regains fell bonus divided by 3% of their max wounds. And it remains in combat once per combat. Yeah, I'd rather the things that are like permanent per combat. Old Abelard, who really needs to survive the first round of combat. At the start of the Vanguard's turn, before their temporary wounds are lost, he gains temporary wounds. I recently actually just picked up Bulwark, so when Bulwark is active, the Vanguard count as full cover for their allies and grants adjacent allies damage reflection against ranged attacks. Yeah, I'll take that. Give him some bonuses for brace for impact. All allies affected do not suffer negative effects of melee superiority. I wish we had like some power armor for this guy. Whenever he uses shield bash, he regains 2 MP. I have been really enjoying the shield on him right now. Enemies gain no superiority bonuses against this character. That would also be good considering how much you love getting surrounded. Whenever the shielder successfully blocks an attack, they immediately use shield bash. If possible, the wielder makes a counterattack triggered by stalwart defense. And then the shield bash follows the counterattack. All right, that's really good for you. Yeah, we're going to take that as your ability. Heavy maul. No, he has a sword because he parries. And then he has like an auto pistol. Our Raven. Enemies in a 4-cell radius around the Cyber Raven have their willpower reduced. That's pretty good. Just means like they're less likely to... just like lowers their resistance against all her psyker attacks. At the start of each round, if failed degradation is above 15, all creatures around the Cyber Raven suffer 9 warp damage. Yes, that's absolutely. That's what I'm going to do. My favorite thing is cranking veil degradation to the max. You need tech use as your main skill. Increases dodge. Grants all allies deflection against the next melee hit. The combat strategies are always kind of a weird one. I'd rather him not have these abilities. I feel like there's cool ways to build Pascal, and I never build them well. He's someone I wouldn't mind like rebuilding. I just don't love like the areas. I don't feel like they do a lot. There are no enemies in the back line. The first attack in that turn costs 1 AP less. Allies under the effect of Trenchline Stratagem will dodge area attacks without movement and are immune to all types of forced movement. I'm going to take that because we just took Trenchline Stratagem. And if they don't have to dodge area attacks by moving, then they don't get knocked out of that zone. This guy is like way higher level than everyone. Your best things are ballistic skill and agility. I guess we'll give you ballistic skill to round out that number. And then... shockingly, you're really good at coercion. I guess because you're a cop. So we'll let you have that as well. Finally, Killabella. Killabella! You've recently picked up Killing Edge, so I bet you there's a cool ability for Killing Edge. There's also a bunch of really good stuff for her lethality. Is there an ability for Killing Edge? Weird. Death Whisper, Elusive Shadow, Poised to Strike, Fainting Attack. That's macabre. Wow, they always normally have a special talent that, like, scales off of that. Whenever the assassin hits a target with an attack that has 100 lethality or greater for the first time in a round, the assassin immediately regains the AP spent for that attack. So she always has over 100 lethality. As far as I'm aware. Because it's equal to her dodge, and her dodge is 100. So I think that's probably a good idea for her. Yeah, let's do that. All right, thank God. Quick save. Let's get back to the void ship. That was a hell of a boss fight. Amazing how that boss fight went so... like critically bad immediately, and then Adira just nuked everything. I feel like we got really lucky on some of those warp attacks, but also like she kept triggering the warp explosions and doing damage to me. Yeah, the first psychic power used in a round is calculated as if it is 3 higher and always triggers psychic phenomenon. And then whenever psychic phenomenon is triggered, she gets a permanent +1 psi rating for the rest of the fight. And then she also heals when veil degradation goes really high. And gets a bunch of bonus resolve. Though I feel like, didn't we just get you a new hat? If Perils of the Warp is triggered and the demon is summoned, the demon attacks the closest to the non-demon target. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're wearing that for sure. What a great new drip. I love it. Oh, yeah. And she gains perception bonus dodge. So 6% dodge for each enemy affected by her psyker powers. It's a lot. And it stacks. So she uses psyker powers like 4 times a round. So she gets like 24% extra dodge every time. So she's max dodge permanently. This game is pretty awesome. I'm happy for Owlcat. Oh, they knocked it out of the park. They did a great job. I don't think we necessarily want any of this other stuff. Resolve chance to reduce incoming damage to 0. 6% chance. I could give him the Face of the Sovereign. But I feel like his sick VR glasses are probably the way to go. I don't know. I'm also thinking like my resolve is so insanely high. But it's like impossible not to take this. The attack deals an extra 21% damage when I give people an extra turn. That's a nice new sniper. We also have a las sniper. An Alderi las sniper. Yeah, I'm happy with our loot. Reflective shield, Arbitrary shield. This can go in the cargo. And those can go to the cargo. This can probably go in the cargo. This long last can definitely go in the cargo. We have a bunch of cargo to get rid of. Is the other thing right now. Which someone was telling me I could do a better job of like min-maxing. Unsupported item. Yeah, because a bunch of these are at like very high percentage. Split. Split again. I can't take it out of here. I guess it's only like the weapons you can really move, right? Right, only the weapons, Agent. I'm not going to worry about 1%. Problem with this is it's going to get really, really hairy. Trying to get down and remembering like what is what here. Feels kind of like an unnecessary plan. You can only do it when picking up new cargo. You can put it into the claim box. I see. I need a 10% up there. Yeah, these are like 120%. I could take out 4 of these. It's no good to me at all. I don't know how some of these got stacked up so badly. Honestly, I don't think I need to be that picky about this. Wow, a lot of these are wildly overstacked, though. I was thinking it's been a while since we've done any of this, so we could just, like, come here and say, like, oh, where is my Kajakor? You see, your lordship, it's a tad broken. When the servitors were busy connecting it to the machine spark, terrifying noises were suddenly heard, followed by a horrible smell. My request to have it repaired so infuriated the engineers that I dared not pester them with any further questions. Alas, after a while, the stench became unbearable, and then came the maggots. To put it briefly, the Kajakor had to be disposed of. I offer my deepest apologies for failing to preserve the specimen of Thessarian culture. Ow. Oh, cool. We can also contact the Cyber Beast vendor at any time we want. I don't have any extra profit factor in here though, but where is the shipping and transporting of goods? So the Explorators we're really up with, and the Fellowship of the Void we're really up with. These guys have like two-handed power hammers. Some crazy good boots. What is this? A two-handed light acid spitter with a net cannon. Holy smokes, cool. It fires an acid net at people. The Staff of Endless Flame. There's an old shield here, which does not seem very good at all. I don't know what we actually wanted from this other than the fact that we were just like, oh yeah, pirates. That sounds like us. What's at like the top here? Alderi, sniper rifles, bleed axes. If an ally under the effect of Bring It Down successfully hits an enemy with an attack, the wearer gains 1 willpower and fellowship until the end of combat. Well, that's good for us. 25 commerce and persuasion is also pretty nice. This grimoire increases the chance of triggering psychic phenomenon by 15%. All warp damage dealt by the wielder is increased by 4. I would take that. That would be pretty good for us. There's also some good two-handed mauls in here. Boop, boop, boo. I figured the Casabalica we'd be working with too, but maybe we're not. A couple mobile extractives here we'll take. Machine right sets, med kits. I'll take all of these. A Ratobi pattern bolter. That's probably good for what's her face. A Weber. This is another one of these net guns. What's all the way up here? Heavy armor, tempestuous carapaces, fancy melta-guns, focused melta-scorchers, two-handed rock saws. Each hit with this saw increases the wielder's critical hit damage by 2%. There's heavy shields here. Which again, this is like not any better than the shields I already have. After using run and gun, you get 15% cover efficiency. That's kind of nice. Things for damage over time effects, las rifles, stun grenades. Man, most of this stuff I don't care about. And the wearer is an overseer. Their first overseer ability in a round costs 0. Heavy plasma guns. All right. What's Casabalica have? Whenever the wearer chooses an ally as the target of that ability, the wearer immediately gains 3 MP. Well, this is better than what I have on currently. A telepath's staff. Vision of death. If the target passes a willpower resistance, the target suffers a ton of mental damage. Part of the damage equal to 30% of the target's current wounds cannot exceed 300. Oh, man. Well, that would be good for our telepath. Free shield bash every turn with that shield. I think shield bash is free anyway. The problem is that it takes your attack action to use. Whenever the target kills a target with a single ranged attack for the first time in combat, the wearer immediately makes an additional attack. All right, this is all like the xenos stuff. Psyker's breastplate. Heavy psyker breastplate. Reduces the chance of triggering psychic phenomenon. If the psychic phenomenon manifests, the wearer gains additional psi rating until the end of combat. Damn. Obviously, that would also be very good for Adara. Navigator staffs. Storm bolters. Couple nice swords and stuff in here too. A warp burn force sword. Blade Dancer's Mantle. Death from above deals an additional 24 mental damage. Each hit made with Blade Dance increases the critical hit chance by 10% until the end of the turn. This is... okay, there's some really good stuff here. In the first round of combat, the wearer gains a number of additional attacks equal to their psi rating. And then the red crystal staff is a navigator staff. All right, well, we looked at everybody else. What have the Drusians got? Fancy mauls, sanctic staffs, heavy bolters. Armor of the final threshold. Good heavy armor. It looks like they've put in a lot more heavy armors than they used to. All of these look like they're way better than they were at launch. Rock saws. A spinner's breastplate. Okay, obviously we know who that would get given to. Silent death. Whenever the wearer suffers a trauma in combat, if they have more than 0 wounds, they immediately regain. All right, that's also good for her. Two-handed force sword. Whew. Some light armor. Blade dance. You also have a bunch of blade dance stuff. Good power hammer. What is where it hurts? Executioner ability. Who can use Xeno items? There's a couple of Xenos that we have not yet gotten. We're about to get one of them pretty soon. Is there a null companion in this game? What do you mean? You can get like mercenary companions that you can sort of make yourself if you don't want to use the named companions. Oh, you mean like a blank? No, I don't think... I haven't seen a blank in this game at all. Yeah. No, I've not noticed a blank. Oh, look at this. Bunch of stuff in here. This is all for the ship, so we'll just take a look at it. Hide untradeable. You take void pirate trophies. You're the only guys who take this stuff. Which unfortunately it's not enough to get you up a level, but it almost is. Okay, so I didn't really care about any of this stuff. I guess let's start working on Casablanca. They had really good stuff here, so you want heretic trophies the most. Sort by type. You'll also take Xeno artifacts. Do I not have any heretic trophies? I feel like I should. Mechanicus creations, 200, 200. You want holy gifts and heretic trophies. You guys also probably want holy gifts. These guys, I said they didn't really have anything I wanted. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to give the Drusians some holy gifts. This is not a great idea because typically you can't level up everybody. But I gotta go for the stuff that looks good. Take those crack grenades. I will absolutely take a heavy bolter. Heretic trophies weren't at 100%. Okay, 15 bonus to damage against enemies that dealt damage to the wearer this round. Yeah. So I think I'm going to give these guys all of our jewelry as well. And I guess Mechanicus creations. Damn. I'm like 2,120 short. Melee weapons, 100, 100. Melee. You guys don't want ranged. You do want armor kits, though. So I could give these guys all my ranged weapons. Obviously, it's like weapons and armor that you tend to get more than anything else, so... They vary, same with the armor. Yeah, these guys are 150, 100, 100 on ranged and melee. 150, 100. These guys don't want melee. Yeah, these guys only want melee. They don't want ranged. So we'll give them the melee weapons. And sorry, do the Cast Pelicans want armor? No. But they'll take uniform kits, so let's give them that. Here we go. Telepath Staff. When the wearer hits an opening with charge, slash, or dance macabre, they inflict bleeding. I don't know that anybody really needs that, but... Drukari Hex Rifle. Alright. We got a few things out of that. I can replace your bolter with... Oh, the heavy bolter is 60 strength. So she has heavy weapon specs, so she can use things that are 55 strength.
That is not the Emperor's will.
Well, she can't use that. But this bolter is better in literally every single way, so you can use that. I guess we'll hold on to the rest of that for now. I think Adira, we got a new staff for you. Yeah, the Diviner staff and the charge staff. I'm going to give you that crazy new psyker staff, telepath staff. One creature within a 10-cell radius. Right, okay, so instead of casting Chain Lightning on people now, I can cast Vision of Death, and it's for sure going to do an insane amount more damage. We can keep the charge staff around. Just in case. But this will be good. This will be useful. You're going to take these Commissar boots. Whenever I choose an ally as the target of my ability, they gain 3 movement points. Fantastic. Very useful. Hi. Whenever we deal damage, 25% chance to gain 3 movement, or just increase by 3 movement. Let's just take increase by 3 movement. That feels probably a little bit better for us. Shaker, thank you for 5 months, my dude. Hope you're doing well today. Love that ability. Psyker makes them believe that they are dying, and so they die. Very Psyker move. A very, very Psyker move. And then I guess that's like all the loot we got just then. A ton of this stuff I should probably just like yeet out the window. We picked up like a handful of grenades. You use that warp neutrality drug. I'm going to give you another one of those, and I would love it if we could find a way to make more of them, but... Just don't really use a lot of those abilities. I can't believe you can't use medkits in battle to pick people up. Genuinely shook. Last but not least, we picked up a bunch of other stuff here, like better shields. 70 points of protection for each sector. Or 80 points. 70 points, but the amount is double against blast attacks. I guess we'll go with the better one. Negates 4 points of damage on each side. No, we do 5 points and reduce internal fire. So let's add that to cargo. We'll add that to cargo. We got Voss pattern torpedo tubes. Plasma. We already have a set of those. Mesoa lance. I could put a second lance on the ship. Mars pattern prow battery. Oh, interesting. This goes on the front. It's a prow battery. What's up? Mesoa macro cannons. Short range dorsal macro cannon, which fires 2 shots. Or we have the Starbreaker. No, I love the Starbreaker. This one's a really good weapon. And then another Mars pattern macro battery. 4 shots at 14. 4 shots at 21. 2. Yeah, no. This guy we don't need. I don't think we need those torpedo tubes either. The prow battery we kind of could use. We don't need 2 lances. So let's just get rid of all that. Lastly, I need a master of etherics. I don't know why we don't have someone on this post. Namely, I don't know why we don't have Adira on this post. She's very good at warp channeling. We can, in fact, upgrade shallow jump if we fix our hull. You are my master of maneuvers. You're kind of the best at that. You're my shield master. You're definitely the best at that. You have torpedo control. The expeditious reload. Abilities, master cannoneer. Yeah, Cabela is like slightly better skill stats here, but I think you'll actually unlock other abilities. And then I am for sure in charge of the ship. I see. We have to like unlock this as we go. My goodness. Streaking for 2 months straight. Aren't you cold, or is it summer? Chris Lauren, hello, hello. How far did I get in my first playthrough? I got right to the end of Act 3 is where I stopped. Which apparently means there's like only a couple more hours left because Act 4 and 5 are really, really short, but I did not get to do them. 100 scrap to upgrade this. What's the difference? Shallow jump, 5 cells, 1 to 3 at random. Shallow jump. Oh, cool. It allows you to warp jump through a ship and do a bunch of damage. Yes, let's upgrade that for sure. That's sick. I don't know why I can't upgrade everything else, but I got a ton of scrap here. Let's upgrade the hull a bit more. Maintenance deck. We don't have anything for that spot. Oh, man. Okay. Let's go back to Dargonis and cash in this quest. Which hopefully won't be too painful. I think we do have to go through a really nasty area, though. Only one ship level away from the ult. I wouldn't mind doing a bit more of this void combat. Yeah, we have to go through dangerous territory to get back here. There's all these other uncharted systems. Should we detour for a quick minute? Do you get any abhuman crews, or is it only xenos and normies? You can get an Adeptus, Astartes, who I would say he's kind of abhuman. There is one character that I haven't met. You only get him in, I think, like the last act. There's two characters you can get in like the last act or the second last act. So I can't really speak for them. So Captain Max says detour. All I needed is one person to say detour, and I'm detouring. One of the macro cannons has sounded the alarm. The vent systems have brought in miasmas of a terrible disease. We are straight into combat again. Very good, sirs. To the macro cannon chamber. So many little fights en route. Look at all these muties. Oh, we have a turret. How nice. Adira, I'm gonna have your little Raven go right there. And then I'm going to have Abelard stand directly in front of you. Big Turg, you're going to go here with Legion in front of you, and Cabela right next to you. We'll put you on that side, actually. Solomorn can go way down here, which means his puppy dog can also probably go like right there. And Pascal can go here and just shoot down. Meow, meow. We'll do a little machine spirit communion. Set a beautiful front line right down here. Right down here. Huge cover efficiency for all these guards. I'll give us some bonus range damage. We kill zone that, and then oh, those guys are kind of separate. Not bad. Start blowing guys up.
Weapon at the ready.
Jeez, man. That's bad aim. That's some real bad aim. All right, Cabela can do some really fun stuff here, and I feel like we never really get the chance to let her shine.
I am your blade and shield.
So, using the Ebonite sword,
I shall not fail.
we'll blade dance.
Death is a blessing.
Crazy good. That's nuts. It's not a guard, that's a stormtrooper. Putting the Southerner in charge. A Space Marine and aliens, no Ogren or fish people. No, there isn't an Ogren. There is an Ogren in the new Dark Heresy game as one of the companions. So we are at least getting a little bit of Ogren love. You're going to cast Death from above. You're going to cast Death from above again. Because I can keep hitting his weak points. You have 5 attacks left.
As honor ordains.
I Hit him again. Hemorrhage. For free. I should have cast Raining Blood on him, like, right away.
Trust me.
We're going to do Raining Blood. We're going to aim for the
Shadows
opening.
will see it done.
And then we're going to do Killing Edge.
Trust me. Killing brings me no pleasure.
Sick. Dude, I basically wiped out this entire thing in a single round. How many of these jumps do you have left? 2. Damn, Cabela, you're so cool. You're now just going to go Acrobatic Artistry. Which I probably could have triggered at any point there. As she just does a bunch of backflips and then runs back to Turg. Can I hit just the 2 of these guys? Oh, man, I can.
One less.
Oh? I guess it ain't over till it's over, baby. Aw, man, you got run and gun right now. What's like the most amount of these guys I can hit at once? I think it's probably from here.
The guilty
Here we go.
By the legs, die.
It's a lot of damage.
Understood.
And again? Well, man, if there's one thing our guys are good at doing, it's getting rid of the trash. Unavailable because of winded. So if I used Rebel and Slaughter, could I not use
Accepted.
Run and Gun again? No. I knew that was too good to be
Glacial,
true.
We're undertaking this task.
Probably should have brought the dog in earlier, but oh well.
Stay vigilant.
Namera, by the way, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Lamenter, I don't think our very bad dickheads would last that long. So glad the devs updated some of the UI elements. Definitely easier to see stacked debuffs now. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of good, like, I guess what I would just call, like, ease of viewing. A lot of quality of life changes to the game that have been fantastic.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Smack that dweeb.
Bye. Have a good day.
I will do my duty.
We're just going to charge in here to draw attention.
At your beck and call.
We could taunt all of them, so they're all going to come in. And then we can also shield block them. Oh my god. Nasty. I am more likely to get killed by my own guys at this point. Oh, okay. I see how it is. They're like, fine. If that's how you want to do it, we're gonna send it an entire wave, and they're gonna get to go before anybody else gets to go. Ooh, if I could get my Cyber Raven in there. I forgot to put his shield back on. Dude, this turret hasn't even gone yet. Ow. Oh, I hope that doesn't block the turret. Oh, that grenade? Stupid plague bearer. All right, turret. Good melt-a-blast. Sounds are becoming unbearably loud. Yeah, the warp is kind of cooking right now, so... maybe... I don't know if that's close enough. I want Solomorn to go.
I need no guidance.
I mean, if I could grant Cabela a turn with movement. All right, you got a bunch of guys on you here already. Why am I 40% chance to hit the dog?
Understood.
Not an excuse to take one's duty.
Sorry, dog. Sorry, dog, but also that's your job.
It won't take long.
What if I go here? What if I go here?
Target eliminated.
Lots of dead guys. Boop, 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 boop. We're just gonna come down here. No, I'm just gonna stay here. You know what? This guy doesn't need to be in combat.
I will not stoop to this.
It seems like the cops got it figured out, so...
Let's see what you can do.
Unless I activate Overcharge, I can't use her psychic attacks. But I can still do things like cast Evil Eye and Purification Discharge.
What was the command again? Oh, right.
I feel okay with that. This dude's got to get closer anyway, so... we'll move that in. Drop another plasma round.
An offering of blood.
We seem to be doing fine here. Yeah, look at this, man. How much movement does she have? Look at Cabela's movement score. She has 60 movement points at the beginning of her round. 60. I would love to see what is stacking all of that together. I can run all the way up here. How is she so fast? So I made her, man, it's so many things. I gave her You Serve Me, which is also, I have a special buff on You Serve Me that gives her bonus 2 movement points every round. She has another thing where she gets bonus movement points just for standing next to the rogue trader because he's a hive character. And then honestly, I can't answer you the others. I genuinely do not know.
I bring mercy and
She got to go fast. She's like, here I go again, killing.
My blade whistles.
Killing for the rogue trader again.
As a tenant's death is a blessing.
How many of these does she have? 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't quite get back to him.
The shadows will see it.
If you use acrobatic artistry, will you get any of those movement points back? No. All right, well.
Another scar for my collection.
I'm going to get to kill somebody with the mace. I never get to kill people with the mace.
Hold the formation. Executed.
Yeah, that must have felt good, Solomon. Well, here's the great news. That's a ton more gear for us to send off to get deals out of. That's a crazy ton more gear.
Cover my path.
I can't believe that 60 movement points is outrageous. The idea was that we built her so that she can always start next to Turg and then move around the map, kill a bunch of stuff, and then always use that ability to return back to where she started. And as long as she is next to Turg, both of them get like a bunch of bonuses every single time. So it certainly works out in our favor. Enemies of humanity. Those look like Alderi ships. We got some space dust. What else we got in this system? Lava? Dead world? Any talents based on moved tiles? Sadly, I don't think so. But because she's an assassin, she gets all these bonuses for like attacking from weak points. So being able to move often to be able to get into position is really good. And a bunch of her abilities like don't stop her movement either. 4 Xenotech. That seems very high. 4 Xenotech is the highest it can possibly be. We're going to place an extractum there. Super useful. IDEX. This is where the that guy we just killed is from. Death world full of Necrons? Oof, I hope not. IDEX is a planet of no particular note. The small station suspended in its orbit sends a distress call to your ship. A man in a hurried Vox transmission introduces himself as the planet's governor and asks the rogue trader assistance in a delicate matter. He promises to supply the details in a private Vox conversation. Study records concerning the planet. It appears IDEX recently suffered a major coup. One of its noble families seized power and made outcasts of the former dynasties. Such plots are not uncommon, although notably IDEX has become less prosperous under the new government. Yeah, I'm okay with a backroom deal. The new governor transmitting on your personal Vox frequency whispers that IDEX's current authorities are not who they claim to be. There's been an uprising on the planet and a heretical sect has seized control. The governor pleads with you to launch an immediate strike on the palace. With their top tier obliterated, the new authorities will be unable to hold on to power. Ask the governor if he knows of the ruler of Thessera, Ruwaldo, who hails from the planet. The governor is glad to hear that you know Rualdo, who is his distant relative. Being a friend to Rualdo makes the rogue trader a friend to the governor of Idex. A heretical sect has seized control. The governor pleads with you to launch an immediate strike on the palace. Notably, Idex has become less prosperous under its new government. I mean, is the governor on the station? Yes. Yeah. I like heretical sects. This is the problem. I also like having a friend of a friend that owes me a favor. I also feel like this is a discrete conversation, so it's probably not real. Like, he is probably the heretical sect. I'm going to strike at the government palace. Whoever was the planet's official ruler has been reduced to less than a servo skull. You got some heretic trophies. I love heretic trophies. The governor on the station sends you his tearful thanks along with these generous gifts. I can also then kill him. Rualdo did try to kill me. That's true, but he died and I didn't, so... How do I like the games, that's Riddle? Dude, I really like it. If you like CRPGs at all, or if you like XCOM style combat, it's basically that. It's a really good story. It's written like a 40k book. It's got a lot of reading. It's got a lot of lore. Some of it's optional. A lot of it's optional, I would argue. But it does a really good job of like showing the 40k universe very, very well and through a multitude of different lenses. Generally, I think it's very strong. Very strong game. And the new DLC is like excellent, so. Are we playing heretical? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're look at this guy. Look at this guy. Do you think he's not a heretic? Do you think he's not some sort of fat, pompous heretic here, just trying to get fat off the wealth of the world? Captain Mac has made a decision with absolutely no bribery. Kill them all. Here's the problem. If I kill the governor here, what's going to happen? The station's fiery remains adorn the sky of Idex. Whoever was on there will never be the ruler of anything. The ringing silence on the Vox channels indicates that Idex is, as of now, devoid of any planetary authority. I mean, it's chaos, right? Is it good for my realm to blow up both governors? Probably not. Is it good for chaos? Absolutely. I'm not that deep into 40k. I know it superficially. I loved Fallout 2, and I wonder if it's not similar in a way. Yeah, I would compare it similar to games like Fallout 2. It's got that like turn-based combat. Grid-based, turn-based combat. You have movement points, you have action points. You have a bunch of abilities, but it starts with like you don't have a bunch of abilities. I would say it's definitely like more complicated.
Finally, some real action.
It plays a lot like TTRPGs. And if you don't know a lot about 40k, that's also like totally okay. You will learn a lot about 40k playing the game because it introduces you to most of the major factions. This is also the space combat minigame that exists in it, which is pretty fun. Ow! My pirate escort. Oh, man. We're up against 4 Alderi ships. 3 Shadow Hunters. With hollow fields. Oh, God. And this guy is an Aconite. gas and dust clouds give us evasion, but they really, really hurt us. Whenever a vessel enters this anomalous zone, its shields are fully restored and they have their strength increased. 2 random weapons of the vessel are disabled until it leaves the zone, and there's a chance of internal fires. Okay, so here's the thing. Internal fires actually low-key kind of good for us, because we have like fireproof armor. I tell you what, we're going to start with the vulnerability scan on the big guy. It's on his backside. You're going that way. You're going that way. You're going south. So I could come over here and focus on the shadow hunters. These hollow fields make my life hellish. Just out of range. I do have the warp jump. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five cells. But that would put me on top of them. One, two, three, four, 5. That will put me directly behind him. You know what? That's probably my best bet. Let's take a look around that way. That makes us the rulers. I mean, it was already a planet. Actually, I guess that planet probably wasn't in our domain either. Technically, it was probably winter scale. Have a similar style of humor at times, but it prides itself on being way more edgy than anything else. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it takes itself too seriously.
Eviscerate them.
It's something to generally consider about the Warhammer universe and this game as well, so. All right, you're going to warp jump. Oh, you're kidding me. Yuck. You probably can't reach me. All right, we're going to boost our left shields. And we're going to hope for the damn best here. I was going to say, maybe I'm out of range of that guy, but maybe they're all just going for my escort ship instead. No! My escorts! Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do it there. Dude, I cannot get in range of these ships with my side cannons. At all. That guy didn't move.
Chart a course.
All right, well, we're going to move here. I can hit this guy with a Starbreaker in the back.
Send them into a cold void.
Almost.
Let the incandescent beam scorch our enemies.
I could also hit one of them with a warp wave. I also have plasma torpedo control. Ooh. I might be able to reach you. It's very hard to say. I'm gonna turn that ship. So they're all kind of going in that direction right now. I don't think we need to boost any shields. Maybe the front shields wouldn't hurt. He sends his plasma torpedoes up to take out the plasma torpedoes instead of just hitting the ship. But okay, our plasma torpedoes hit the ship, doing pretty massive damage and taking out a bunch of its decoys. Damn, these guys can really turn on a point. Should've left that left shield up. Yeah. Ow. Big ow. Damn slippery space elves. Wow, I really whiffed the shield play there. I whiffed that pretty goddamn hard. Shazbot. Broadside macro cannons. This is the double macro cannon. This is his weak side right here. But I don't have a lot of like good shots to hit him with. And I'm really worried, like if I go here and I don't take him out, I am leaving my left side way open. I can't hit him. All right, screw it.
Let destruction fall forth.
That's one ship down.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons. Eviscerate them.
That guy with the Starbreaker. Go for the Mesoa Lance Cannon.
Incandescent beams scorch our
Oh, 9 HP! You've got to be kidding me! Oh, I'm in so much trouble here. I'm probably dead, actually. Miss. Interesting.
Let destruction fall forth.
He didn't move.
Eviscerate them. For the glory of the Imperium.
So we're going to do that. For sure. I could warp jump over this guy. That guy I can kill with these torpedoes. I'll get my torpedoes next round. So I think all I have to do is kill him.
Let the incandescent beams scorch our
Missed.
enemies.
Fires 2 shots. I get 2 shots with the Stygian pack and Stygian patterned macro dual battery. What do we do if we shallow jump? That unit suffers 25 to 35% of its maximum hull integrity and warp damage. Okay, that's not enough to kill it, so we're gonna go here.
Unleash the
We're going to shoot this guy
storm of
once.
micro
We're going to shoot this guy
cannons.
twice.
Micro cannons. Annihilate them.
We're going to shoot this guy chicken soup with rice. I'm then going to go this way.
Steer us to our target.
I'm going to warp wave you. I'm going to reboot my shields. And I guess I'll put butt shields on just in case. And then my plasma torpedoes are going to go straight into you.
Charter course.
Now all I have to do is live long enough for those guys not to kill me. Not bad. Could be worse. Posture check, thank you. Only Fallout 3 onwards that win action RPG. Yeah. Oh yeah, Fallout 2. Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 are both turn-based. Very similar to the Wasteland games, if you've seen them. They're probably the closest thing in modern period that's like echoing the old school Fallout games, so. Combat was turn-based, not the whole game. Yeah. No, this game has like lots of skill checks and stuff as well. There's good like multiple ways to play it, different outcomes to most events. It's all got all that kind of stuff. I would like highly recommend it. If you like those style of games like Fallout 2, you would probably like this. So, summer sale is here, right? Might try Final Fantasy VII, get both of them. Yeah, that's totally fair as well. Yeah. I mean, if you like that turn-based stuff, I know Clear Obscura, which just came out recently, is very, very good turn-based. This looks fancy. Provides voidship weapons with targeting data, granting 90% hit chance, 10% critical chance, so an extra 5% critical hit chance. Additionally, provides allies with targeting data, increasing their lance weapons and macro cannon damage by 20% and hit chance by 30%. Awesome. Upgrade? Oh, and we got a level up. Ooh. Flagship's next shot gains 2 extra range. We don't have someone who has that, right? That's like... What do you have here? Shield pulse. Master maneuver gets new heading. You get warp jump, warp wave. You do get arc augury. Reloads all macro cannons that were fired during the acceleration phase. Oh, cool. So you fire, then you move, and then you fire again. Flagship fires up maneuvering thrusters and moves to the side. 2 extra range is really good. Allows the use of both abilities of one selected post. FF7's the best FF. Anyone that says 8 is a mistake? No. 5 is the best. And then it's 6. Clear Obscura Expedition 33 is the name of it. Yeah. Oh, definitely. If you like turn-based stuff, check that out. It's getting a lot of people's game of the year right now, so. Yeah, let's take Arc Augury here. Ultimate post abilities. Flagship torpedo tubes are loaded with 3 salvos instead of 1. Oh, a boarding party. Starting internal fires, possibly causing engine damage that cripples the ship for 1 round. Can only be used once per round. Duration +1 round for every 10 points in the Supreme Commander's persuasion skill. Buddy, that is like my biggest skill. I love boarding parties. They're very fun. At the end of each turn, the most damaged sector of the shields are restored up to 50%. Based on the shield master's tech use, that would also be very good. 2 rounds +1 round for every 20 points of tech use. He's got like 120 tech. So that's like 8 rounds of combat. That works. Duration +1 round for every 10 points in persuasion. All right, this is also like 10 rounds of boarding parties. The flagship makes 7 attacks, each of which targets a random enemy at 8 cell range and deals warp damage. Nah. I do like warp damage, but this tells you like where to put the flagship to get extra evasion. I gotta feel like I gotta take boarding parties, right? Gotta be the way. Mad Lad thinks 5 is best. Of course, it's the closest to Final Fantasy Tactics, which is actually the best Final Fantasy game. Too bad we couldn't board him with Deacons. No, we'll just board him with Chaos. I like this idea because you can also cast it and then like run away from the ship. Your ship now has access to an ultimate ability. It can dramatically change the tide of battle. Try using it next time. You can only use them once per combat. They take a significantly long time to recharge. When using them, be aware they may still be on cooldown the next fight you get into. Fills up on each of your flagship's turns and at the end of each battle. Okay. Well, let's put on this sick rare Auspex and add that other guy to cargo. We're definitely going to have to repair. And I have enough to upgrade the hull again. But like just barely, so. I don't really like ramming ships. It's very expensive on your own hull. You know what? Let's just do that. Well, this was a great system. I'm really glad we went on this detour. Thank you, Lieutenant Mack, for the good advice. All these sectors are dangerous, so we're going to get attacked like every time we jump. Oh, not always, I guess. Lord Captain, I humbly request an audience with you. Proctor Anthar is interfering with the crew and is demanding to see all the archival records of fugitive criminals we have ever received from the Imperial Navy. All right, I will meet with both of you immediately. I'm obviously going to tell him to pound dirt because obviously my ship is full of criminals and heretics. You can ram? Isn't that a greenskin tactic? Yeah. You can still do it. I just love this huge chair. Your lordship, Protector Anthar, is interfering in the work of the crew. He's intimidating and threatening them, demanding access to the ship's shield archives. The ship's sealed archives. Ship's sealed archives. She sells down by the seashore. As for his dog, I humbly request that you take action. Vigdis, what's wrong with your hand? Master Vox tried to pet Gladio, which activated his self-defense protocol. I had to step away from my duties to have implants replaced. I already apologized. In any case, what happened was the expected outcome from unauthorized contact with a living weapon of the Adeptus Arbites. Vigilus, why did you try to pet the dog? I didn't. I did not try to pet him. It's not customary to keep such cyber beasts on a void ship, Lord Captain. This is my first encounter with such a creature. That Gladio was following me all over the bridge. And you decided to interfere with his work protocol. I had studied the archives, found mention of a ritual to establish contact that involves an offering and physical interaction with the beast. You're talking about bribery, a pointless act. Cyber mastiffs cannot be bribed, and neither can the arbitrators. These guys are too much, man. Solomon, stop interrupting at once. Why are you sabotaging the work of the crew? I was compelled to intervene as Gladio has intercepted a suspicious signal. The encrypted message contained the words heresy and fugitive. I managed to trace the signal back to the Voxmaster's workstation. I needed to dispatch him on a reconnaissance mission to obtain new evidence and ensure your safety. You sent the beast to follow me. I questioned the crew in the Voxmaster's absence and established that the wanted bulletin sent by the Imperial Navy were being completely ignored. I suspect Senior Officer Tolleman is abusing your trust. Did you know that one of the Voidsmen was a fugitive heretic? No, Captain. He was not on the wanted criminals. I assumed it's because of the relative insignificance of the heresies he was accused by. Perhaps the Proctor had information which the Imperial Navy does not have access. Well, what do you have to say? Reports of fugitive criminals, which number in the hundreds, are pretty low. Low priority. What's more, I know that the Lord Captain Theodora was most adamant to the matter. If you forgive me, her exact words were, "We are not Grok's damned bounty hunters." The proctor would know that if he had brought his questions to me, rather than interrogating astropaths and comms officers. As for the Vox transmissions, the frequency on which the senior officers communicate is encrypted. I alerted the staff to the situation with the Void Man who was brought to you on the bridge to stand trial. Need I remind the Lord Captain that Proctor Anthar has no authority to access transmission conducted by senior officers on the Rogue Trader's flagship. Not to mention that signal was wrongfully intercepted. Yeah, I don't love the cops just illegally wiretapping my comms. Your flagship is untouchable for external inspections because of its high status. Your criminals are taking advantage of that. You need an internal audit. Pull up the archives of wanted bulletins and double check your crew records. That's the only way to identify and eliminate potential threats. This is madness for a ship whose officer corps alone comprises hundreds of people. The work hours that would be required for such an audit. All right, I'm ready to make a decision. This is not some filthy hive backwater. You will cease your self-righteous investigations at once, and you had better hope I hear no further complaints about your conduct. That's pretty tempting. I wouldn't mind these guys investigating the crew on their own without the proctor. But again, I don't really care if there's criminals and heretics on my ship. Yeah, I'm going to tell him to bug off. As you command, Rogue Trader. I know that's probably not good for, like, companionship-ness. But sometimes you got to tell the cops, like, you got a warrant? No. Are you arresting me? No. All right. Have a nice day. Or don't. You're a cop. I don't really care about you. You know? Rules are rules. Have we given up on flirty times with Solomon? I mean, we did unlock a sexy blood god assassin as well, so I'm still gonna hit on Solomon whenever I can, but I might just not, you know, pursue it quite as much. Three adamantine and 4 phlogiston. 4 phlogiston is really good. This image I have is like out of date because it says that there is no adamantine in the entire universe. Huh. Yeah, this table is just like out of date. All right. Well, 3 adamantine, that feels kind of low. A cabin space, exactly. We could find criminals and heretics on your ship so you know how to reward them for their faithful service. 1 plasteel, definitely not. When you get later on, you end up having so many extractums that you can just put them basically everywhere, but right now we do not have that case. A tiny colony is buried in this enormous yawning pit, the edges of its civilian structures barely even visible. The settlement was destroyed when the ground swelled up under it. The forlorn bones of dead colonists are strewn amid the rubble. On the edge of the crater, the scouts discover a tunnel entrance. Apparently, there was an explosion in the cavities beneath the town, whose unsuspecting people fell instantly into the chasm that opened. Near escaping Maz, a shuttle overturned and blackened by the blast, forever motionless. Lying next to the shuttle are empty bomb containers and corpses clad in characteristic armor. Adeptus Arbites. Surviving records show that it was the Arbiters who planted the explosive and collapsed the tunnel on top of the dwellers. Classic. In the papers of the wrecked Arbiter shuttle, the Rogue Trader found the coordinates of a cache. Searching through the papers, you find the demo plans. They knew that detonating the tunnels would bury the colony, but prioritized eliminating criminals over preserving the lives of the ordinary settlers. The documents also include a map of the Koronus Expanse containing encrypted data. They were aware of another smuggler's cache, but in a different system. Investigate the tunnel. Get some trophies. Deep beneath the rubble, the scouts uncover the remains of warehouses, depots, and a veritable maze of suspicious tunnels. Judging by the flattened containers, the impressively vast subterranean city belonged to a smuggling syndicate. Cybermastiff upgrade. Attacks of opportunity against the apprehended targets always cancel its movement. Damn, Daniel. Where was that upgrade? 15 weapon skill, 150 more damage. Yeah, we're going to take that one instead. I think. Whenever an ally dodges or parries an attack, the Cybermastiff gains temporary HP and deals extra damage. Does not stack. Yeah, I'd rather him use apprehend than protect, I think. Sexy blood god assassin much better than overzealous insert topical agency commentary officer, right? Yeah, we have 3 extractums available. Yeah. Rogue traders are like the sovereign citizens in 40k, only it's legally correct in the Imperium for them to be able to ignore the law. Yeah, they are the law, quite literally. They just decide whatever they want wherever they go. That's what the trader's writ just basically says you're allowed to do whatever you want. It's like that scene from Parks and Rec when Ron Swanson holds up the paper that just says, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. That's the rogue trader writ. We're going to warp Trimble down here. The void ship is in the clutches of the warp elements. A whirlpool suddenly emerged and is threatening to throw the ship off course. Leave the helpless crew at the mercy of the Sea of Souls. Only the navigator's talent can save hundreds of people from madness or death. Oh, leave the ship to the mercy of the warp. The ship's Vox systems have reported an emergency. Warp tears have appeared in maintenance bays on the lower decks, and voidmen, driven mad by sorceress corruption, have bowed to the demons arriving to the other side. They're new masters. This calls for an immediate response. I guess I should have had the navigator do her job. Now we gotta go fight. Now we gotta go fight some rabble. Numbers at the top are how much you have extracted. Yes, yeah. Currently have 5 adamantium, yeah. Yeah, which also leads me to be like, do I really need that this much? Ooh, demons. We got a quick level up here. Cybermastiff heals to full and deals extra damage. Whenever familiar becomes a target of an attack, the overseer has their damage dealt increased by 2. Plus 10 until the end of combat. When the overseer uses their archetype ability, the overseer and their familiar gain +1 deflection until the end of combat. Yeah. Like, apprehend is your archetype ability, isn't it?
The world, your demise is assured.
Oh. There's blue horrors. The cutest of all the demons. Abelard, you can go here. Capella, you can hang out up here with me. Servo Skull. Let's put you there. Then Adira can go behind the Servo Skull. And her Raven can go nearby. Ow. What? I took damage just moving him there? That seems lame. Pascal, you can go there. Solomon, you can start right next to that Madden fighter, and then I guess Glado. I don't know, you can also maybe go up here. Put the bird over here. So I give these guys bonuses to cover.
Request approved.
Do some bonus range damage there, and then I'll just stack the front line up there for now. I'm gonna trench line this back line. Do some machine ritual communions to reduce recoil and enemy dodge. Kill stratagem. Oh, I should have done an AoE there. Whoops. And we'll shoot that guy and miss. A portal warlock. Pink horrors. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is unshaken.
Ow. I'm going to buff my entire team. And then I'm going to buff them again.
Anything is.
Does this mean there's a lot of psychic shenanigans going on? You better believe it.
Whispers. It's my toy, and I'm gonna control it myself.
Evil eye. We'll do a little warp shenanigans there. I don't know how many of her warp stuff I really want to be using right now. I guess making them all
Not my destiny.
blind would be good. But I can't quite reach them, so instead I'll just do putrefaction. Purification? Yeah, she's behind full cover right now, so.
Follow my lead.
Break them all.
Getting blatted. Dude, there's a lot of demons in this fight. Do I want to know what that just did? Decrease resolved by 2. Okay, that's not so bad. How are you already staggered? Oh, it's from that attack. You have a blue horror directly in front of you.
At your beck and call. Indeed.
I'm a bit worried that with
I will
how invincible Abelard is, I don't know how well he's going to do against a bunch of warp craft.
follow my lead.
Hopefully these blue horrors prefer to just come into melee combat with them. If you're the law and heretical who is supposed to ensure you adhere to the Emperor, like, is there anyone I fear? Inquisitors? I think would probably be the answer to that.
I shall not fail.
Sick AoE death from above there with a blade dance. Really not landing a lot though. You got 4 points. You need to do your backflip.
Trust me.
So let's spill a ton of blood. Oh, I forgot this ability has like such insane range on it. We'll go that way because we'll also hit this explosive barrel. And then acrobatics.
Follow my lead.
You're back to your start. The IRS, even the Joker fears the IRS. I don't want to mess with that. Don't want to go down that road. What are you going to do here? Will this doggy attack if he is on standby mode? No.
Let's test our skills, Glato.
Get him, boy. Ah, one range off. Nasty. All right, I'm going to also run and gun. I think to here.
You've got a job to do, Glato. I'll take it as a priority.
And we'll just blast a bunch of those dweebs.
Weapon at the ready.
Deep cut joke for the Batman fans. Oh, there's always a few. Shield bash and attack. So that's sick. So that new ability now, he shield bashes every time he parries as well.
Purpose guides me.
Capella, you are my servant.
One step closer.
A lot of you guys are out of range of this attack, which is kind of annoying.
Ruin beckons.
Really moved too many people here.
I will try.
Give you a free attack on that blue horror. I should have cast that on everybody. I don't know why I didn't. I'm gonna give that to Solomorn because he's got a really good line with this shotgun right now.
Accepted.
Oh, Abelard, I didn't mean to shoot you. Oh well. I guess I did. What's done is done.
The order's clear.
You're gonna turn on the Medicaid signal.
Guidance.
And I guess you're going to try moving that to Abelard next turn.
Stay vigilant. My faith strengthens me.
Okay.
Explorers know one route forward.
We'll just move Pascal right up, I think. That seems problematic over there. I'm going to shift the front line. It's not really doing much where it is right now. I can keep this trenched line. It's very, very good for their defense. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of good hits there. So we'll just drop whatever we can. Old Pinky comes in here for the old parry and gets stabbed. Dude, the pink horrors cartwheeling everywhere they go is so fun. Them hitting me with a million warp bolts, on the other hand, not so fun. You can't cast warp magic? Psychosomatic trauma. Boo.
Quiet, Whispers. It's my toy, and I'm gonna control it myself.
Boo. Psychosomatic trauma. Boo. All right. You're not in like any cover here.
There is movement in the Imperium.
Not that I'm sure that matters. I love when the cover takes special abilities, like takes penalties. Evelard, you gonna kill that pink horror for me?
Victory is imminent. I took care of this one.
Ow. All right, pink horrors explode.
It will be done.
Noted.
At your beck and call.
Well, they're not noted, but it is noted. Cabela, Cabela, Cabela. You have 27 movement. I don't know how I got 60 movement on her that one time.
I will leave footprints of scarlet.
Probably should have hit him before I left, but... Great blade dance there. Makes 4 melee attacks. How do we up that number? Agility bonus. If 2 swords are equipped, the blade dancer makes 3 attacks with each one. Whoa. You could AoE or you could Killing Edge. Honestly, Killing Edge does not seem to do... It doesn't seem to show its extra damage.
As honor ordained.
We'll do a Death Whisper just to send out some blood. She's got 2 jumps. Tell you what. Jump,
Trust
jump.
me, death is a blessing. Come, the other side awaits.
Blow him up.
The
Jump
shadows will
again.
fear.
And then
I shall not fail.
reverse your jumps. Hitting all these guys a bunch more times.
Death is a
Oh,
blessing.
she's so good when she crits as well. And now she's back here defending against this blue horror.
Follow my lead.
Damn, dude. Cabela rules.
Follow my lead. Why, here's the ring.
I think I just skipped someone's turn. By accident. Do you have voice of command on? Will this give you an attack? No.
Purpose guides me.
All right, we are kind of wounded here, so
One step
I'm going to leave our
closer.
little Medicaid Legion here
I will triumph.
to give us those bonus heals.
Purpose guides me.
And so I just shoot him.
Guidance.
Hit him with the Melta.
Weapon at the ready.
She was also healing every time she hit something. Oh, probably because they were covered in blood. I haven't quite figured out how all the bloodletting abilities she has works, but nice. That guy just torched his teammate. Plato, you gotta stop getting hit, buddy.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
I'm gonna just like cancel that guy's dodge.
My vow is to serve.
And then miss him.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Is there another? Oh my god, the portal warlock is still down there as well.
Request approved. Running binary override.
Keep up on that trench line.
Request approved.
Yeah, see, Pascal just doesn't really feel like he can do enough in combat, which is my problem.
My vow is to serve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta kill you guys. I gotta kill you guys immediately. You're gonna keep spawning pink horrors every time? Oh, no. Did that second spawn kill the portal warlock? No, he's definitely still alive. I think that guy popped, though.
Damn! What was the command again? Oh, right. Let's see what
She still can't use any warpcraft. Which, I don't know, maybe that's not a bad thing.
I will do my duty.
Smack these dweebs.
Indeed.
Can't get in a range.
My faith strengthens
This guy's just staying in like an AoE. All right, I'm kind of glad we left him down there now, because he's certainly doing work. I'm gonna cause you to bleed. All right, I think we're just gonna move behind him,
No, as the
rain
tenants
blood, and then cast blade dance.
goes against the tenants. Killing brings me no pleasure.
There we go. It does stop your movement. I see. Damn.
Trust me.
I will say she really runs into problems if she can't actually use like any other abilities. You've healed up quite a bit here, so you could probably come down and shoot the two of these dweebs.
Understood.
How did you miss the portal warlock? I don't understand that.
One of us
Apprehend
would be
him.
enough.
I don't know what this guy is doing, but it looks like he is praying to a dark god. Dark prayer. Oh no. 30% chance this creature will start praying to the dark god at the end of their turn. At the start of their next turn, Veil degradation is increased. And there's a 10% chance they become a chaos spawn. Oh no. Oh god. Doggy.
Leto,
Get
we're
him.
undertaking this task.
Get him, doggy. I know you can't reach him this turn, but you can reach him next turn. And apparently every turn counts right now. Excellent. You, sir? I don't know, man. Maybe give... I guess giving Cabela a turn doesn't do much. Can you just not see him? Oh, I see. I see the problem.
Carnage, I find purpose. I will triumph.
Break their ranks. Shoot. I didn't realize I didn't have voice of command on him.
Closer.
One fewer target.
Solid cleave. I think let's just put you here. Start dropping some heals on Abelard.
To the heretics.
Doggy! No!
Break their morale.
Alright, this guy stopped praying. So at least maybe we have that going for us right now. Oh, both those guys are in a kill zone. Can I actually hit them with an area attack? That would be really nice if I could. Yeah? He's praying, so I don't want him to succeed at that.
Request approved.
This guy's gonna come up to Abelard. He's gonna get shield bash for 58 and then immediately killed on the parry. That portal warlock is still alive. He's just hiding right in the back.
What was the command again? Let's see what you can do.
Fortunately, I don't know that I'm going to be able to stop him. Unless...
Bucket, show them what we got.
I think this ability only works, though... Right, if I can actually use my psychic abilities, which I currently cannot. So that's not going to be much good for me.
On it.
Oh, an exemplary strike.
Dude, Abelard is going berserk right now.
Reduced to dust.
Absolutely G'ing it up.
At your beck and call. Victory is imminent.
Okay. Cabela, you know what you love doing? Moving 27 squares in a single turn. So useful.
The other side.
All right. No more summoning demons for you, young man. I only have one stack of parkour. So...
As honor ordains. The shadows will see it done.
I guess just run back. This is crazy, man. This character's absurd. I don't feel like they should be allowed to do that. Your dog is down. And you have to get way close to be able to boot it back up.
Moving into position.
And I doubt you can shotgun those guys over there. 'Cause that's not really what you do.
Clarify your order.
Where's your dog?
Even my dog wouldn't do that.
Even my dog wouldn't bring himself back to life.
Guilty will fall.
It's not the kind of thing my dog would do.
Rejected.
I'm one square off.
It won't take long.
What's your target?
Dude, Abelard. True G.
I will.
Let's give
triumph.
Pascal the bonus turn,
This is beneath me.
because at least you can shoot something.
Running binary. High momentum.
Make sure I don't miss that shot.
Ruin beckons. I will triumph. One step closer.
So I'm just gonna like buff everybody. I feel like I'm just waiting for that pink to get closer.
Advancing. Request approved.
17%. I don't know why I took that shot. You cast a bunch of warp shenanigans on me, but it doesn't look like it did any damage. Oh, no, it did. Just a tiny bit, though. Adira is finally done being like warp napped.
Will do.
So I'm gonna cause her to do like 200 damage in a single move. And then forget that it also does that. 4-cell radius. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that count?
Quiet whispers. It's my toy, and I'm gonna control it
Yes.
myself.
Excellent. Abelard takes a huge heal from the Medicae. And then, look, this guy also has 17 movement points right now.
At your beck and call.
Zoop.
It will be done.
Zoop.
Indeed.
And taunt. And counter. Oh, now here's a bit of a question.
I am your blade.
How do I let you get in here and not kill Abelard in the process? You are going to cover him in blood, which is kind of fun. I guess you could just blade dance right there. Damn, I thought that would do it. Well, let's see what happens.
Time to prove my mettle.
Okay, let's be a little bit careful when we use that ability in the future. Realizing it can do even that much damage to Abelard. Almost one-shot him. Valve. Who turned the valve?
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Just want all my loot. The worst part about these, like, adventures on your ship is that there's just, like, never any good loot that you get out of it. Yeah, that's the way we gotta go? Okay. Through all those ouchies. I mean, you're on the ship, so you're gonna heal, but...
Path unexplored.
Loot not collected automatically when you leave the zone. I feel like it is only if you see it. But, it might just be automatically collected. I might just be able to leave right after those fights. You play Warhammer Total War and Nikari had OP speed as well. That's true. That's true. I do play a lot of Total War Warhammer. Or at least I did. Once upon a time. This feels like a route I should probably make not instant death. Did I need to make it all the way safe? Probably not, but... Safety first. And then we get to land back on our lovely little home planet. We're all geared up. We got a few good extra levels on us. We can cash in the Lex Imperialis quests, the inspection, and then I suspect there's probably one more quest line in this DLC. So, I think that's what we're going to do on Monday. I think that's exactly what we're going to do on Monday. As we leave this and cut the video here, it's the perfect time. We'll see you back next time.